the planes coming around.
Let's see if the departure period is going to be seeing some hot drop-in. And yeah, we're already seeing quite a few players immediately try to get the advantage by touching the ground first. But this is going right over military base. And that is a big place for these guys to try to stick to. But half the teams are already out of the plane. Everybody's just trying to get close here. Of course, they might be influenced last time by that ring. The ring last time was right where these players are really dropping here. But I am still going to be taking a peek at GG, who's able to maybe find a decent setup here. But at the end of the day, it is going to come down to the loot they find on military base. And I think, honestly, the bridge might play a big role here.
Well, taking a first glance over towards No Tag, they're going to be heading down quite quickly. Again, teams are probably going to be going, again, for a similar shift of change, trying to find those vehicles, hunt others down, and then in the meanwhile, not only pick up kills, but, you said it, loot. As all in the meanwhile, this is the early phases. You don't necessarily need to find loot off of dead corpses, but as of now, it would be quite preferable to get yourself high and rolling, maybe roll out in the meanwhile, and again, get to those places, get to high areas, and also just in general locations where you can not only get good loot, but maybe secure yourself some good positions for the later round.
Yeah, and now new round here for us. We already have Myth. We've seen them kind of get decently far. The problem is they weren't really doing too much damage. Needix got taken down. Justice was trying to find theirs. A lot of Myth's team wasn't really playing together. So if we want to find more damage for them, it's going to really come down to just playing smart. You got to play smart here.
Playing smart, playing Sparta here. Already picked up a quick one on the shotgun. And Myth have secured, but also have been dealt a bit of damage. We can see that one of the players of Fairy Tail right below, not only one, but the entirety of the team, as that's going to be the first initiation. Needix finding April in the meanwhile. That's a down, not finished out, but looking to do the job, as one of your own players is having a bout with Conf, who earlier, as we can recall it, who did definitely have a very good run.
And already starting off strong, but I think we might actually lose a player here. But Needix, I'm kind of stuck in this corner. You have a lot of these people pushing into the stairwell. Sparta might be able to get the jump down. Neither of them is turned around on it, but the second the door opens, the 180 is going to be online. And call me Bombi. Here's those footsteps. I don't think Sparta's actually the ghost of Sparta. He's taking it extra slow, not wanting to get taken out here early in the game, and might just have what it takes to really lock this down.
Just might have what it takes. More than an AUG, but also a mindset of absolutely wanting to thrive on kills alone, and maybe even take out Conf. Again, they are next to Fairy Tail, and like we mentioned earlier, this is one of those teams that have set a bit of a target on their back, and Myth are looking to shoot right onto that bullseye, maybe take them out as early. But at the same time, one of your players has been down for a while. And in the meanwhile, a finish onto April by Needix. Here comes Sparta from behind. Backstab. And, well, Brights is going to be taken out into the dark.
Yeah, Fairy definitely not having a great start this time. Obviously, last time it really did come off the hero plays the comp, but this time another pick down. Myth managed to pick up one. Now going to have to pick up a few more as lots of these trades are coming through. These are two teams that you would not anticipate already getting into a firefight, but ooh, RPG to the brain. What a shot here coming out from Barry D, and oh, pixel perfect. Needix is down, and look at the shot from Comp. He wants to go. No, he gets a little bit aggro, has to heal himself. He's the last player standing. One more bullet, and that would have been Fairy Tail immediately gone.
Conf, the boogeyman here for Myth, as they do know where he is, but he's back up on full health. And right now, a beautiful shot onto Sparta seeks him out. That is pure pinpoint reaction he found, and gonna be quick on the finish up. Does not want to leave any remnants or information to be left here for Stranded. Fairy T gonna be finding one, but in the meanwhile, majority of their team has been wiped, as 7 Gaming are having some bouts too, as they have found 1 kill, 2 downs, rather a finish as well. Redline do return a couple of shot, bullseye call it, and the shotgun from Conf here going absolutely insane. That's a double. Can he get it? Not good enough for 3, and Fairy Tail eliminated.
Wow.
Quite a sad end.
Yeah, starting off already, so much damage has come through with these teams, and unfortunately here, Myth being able to walk away means that Fairy Tail, they're gonna have to try to bring this back into the next game. And when you're Conf, when you're someone who carries the team so heavily, being able to, you know, get shut down like that, that's also got to be a little bit of a mental deflator there. Definitely slowing down this team's momentum. Hopefully we can find if they're going to be able to bounce back with the same level of just skill in the next one. But with those kind of shots, with the just chunking from the shotgun here, you can tell that now we're going to be looking at a very different game. Myth already down 2 players, though, is going to have to really start to keep up their spree. 7G also down a person, but they managed to nearly wipe a team. But the only team that's only to fall is actually going to be Fairy Tail last. And here's Redline wanting to get without.
Quite a quick flip of the pan here. Fairy Tail ending up second, and Major Kills now not being on the same end, as of course a lot of teams bunched up circle side, and the other half simply outside, stranded quite far away from it. Gonna need to get back, but there's no time to rush just yet, as of course we also do see that the entirety is that, I can't necessarily see who that is, but bottom right we do see also some players right floating above the water trying to get themselves an inside peek towards the storm side. And talking about the storm on request here, shooting their shots, although not claiming, but nicely hiding out on this house.
Here we go. Taking their time. Extra slow now as we're looking at maybe just a opening for Storm to want to win it out again. Remember, this is the team that was first place last time. Has to be slow. Has to be a little bit methodical, or they're not going to have a great time. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, barely not being able to connect those shots. Cadle, we've seen what the Mini 14 can do. Lots of damage dealt by Fairy Tail last time, but now in the hands of Cadle, might be able to find some more deeps onto the Without team, as Without's already been finding themselves downed a few times.
A lot of peeking, a lot of hiding from Without. They know the situation they're currently given, but going out in the open is something they simply cannot afford as long as Cadle has his way about it. He's simply lurking, waiting on the opportunity to strike. He's patient with it. You know what they do say is that patience is key, and he's looking to unlock that door to maybe a kill or two, reveals himself an extra bit, and yeah, Without nicely are just going to be retreating, trying to get away, but there's one stranded, just sole survivor here from Without that will need to play it a bit more safely.
That's it. Trying to take your time. We're already about 8 minutes into this game, and we haven't really seen too much damage being executed. We've seen deep breath here, there, deep breath here. At the end of the day, nobody wants to fall like Fairy Tail did. But one player in an outhouse, Nosferatu. Previously, we remember this is the player who unfortunately took themselves out with a nade last game. You know, like, we got to keep up with that. You know, taking themselves out. Hopefully we can see a little bit of a turnaround, but at the end of the day, it does come down to the shots. And ooh, a little bit of a pick. Might be able to find some more, but at the end of the day, one shot is all you need. And a passive game like this, it does come down to where that ring is. So let's hopefully take a look at where our first phase is going to end here to maybe see who's going to have to start moving.
Oh, poor Without player. He's just getting absolutely bullied, catching strays from multiple directions. What is one to do in a situation such as? Nosferatu, you said, a player who has been infamous for the for his KD going up, or rather down, due to an incident, if we're to call it so. But we're gonna leave that in the Void Century for now, not talking about it too much. Recovery here from the player just completely stuck behind. Still very convinced Nosferatu thinks he's in the left's house, but rather the movement has already been made. And maybe, just maybe, we could also take a look at some other action going on, as Nosferatu here is just, he's simply aiming, he's holding, and, well, Cadle doing quite the same.
You asked for action, and that's going to be GG getting one. And they might find another one. Oh, and the big trade's coming out. But at the end of the day, Gaming Gladiators are going to execute and be able to revive. But uh-oh, the ring is closing soon. But it's just the first phase. They can take a little bit of damage here if they just need to pick up their teammate. And CDM not quite gone yet. We still have one player, but he's on the ground. The trades are here, and it's just up to Trick Mix to try to clean up what's left.
Oh, TM here. He's going to be a difficult one. Comes in riding and a drive-by here from Dante Levanti. Takes out the final two, and Gaming Gladiators are playing no more games, as now they're out on a hunt. And, well, the first one was quite successful. And taking a look at Without here, one of the players already taken out. The others on a bit of a move. They've lost one. Some teams are already down quite a notch, but there still remains those full squads that will eventually have to be down to fighting. And again, we've seen the popular names of Gaming Gladiator, 7G, and such as Myth going at gunfights, but a lot of these teams have not yet taken initiation.
Yeah, not a whole lot of initiation yet, except for Gaming Gladiators. We're able to actually walk away with, I think, none of them actually getting finished off completely, but Without Dope does have a decent amount of people trying to find some. But look at this, Samler versus No Tag going for some long distance shots, and the pot shots coming out from 1453 on the lurk might be able to execute some of the players on Samler, but at the end of the day, it's No Tag still balancing out, and Samler is down so many people and so much HP. It's not going to be easy to turn this around, but I think No Joke Weiss might want to cut the distance and actually join this fight here. He's looking for a lot of picks, and ooh, decent damage. Not going to really find too much, but I think Samler does survive most of this fight, and boom, 4 Angries able to grab No Tag there.
We have 4 different titles here, not only from No Tag, not only for 4 Angries, but at the same time Samler coming in as well as 1453. Every single team here, a lot of them duking that out, and they finally decided, you know what, our time is now, we might as well bring some extra aggression in. Downs coming out. Samler gonna need a bit of a reset. Tiska trying to secure it all nicely, but in the meanwhile, he himself is found in the grave. 1 down for Barrier and Tier, and while No Tag are slowly closing in, as this is the danger area, the danger zone for Samler. They're found out. That's a finish on to 4, and 4 Angry Sins will be eliminating, but in the meanwhile, all thanks to No Tag, who just came in to swoop them all off.
Yeah, just picked up all the picks that were getting dropped down earlier. And No Tag O'Connell is actually now our rank 1 in the kill lead department. Huge plays from them to make sure No Tag is staying in this game and on the board. Last game, they didn't really find too much success, but ooh, it's going to be a military-based finish.
It definitely will be. And well, military base made for compounding all those artillery weapons and such. Every single player is going to have to use cover and, of course, guns as they're handed them. Samler did get away with all 4 players having to go out of such a heavy gunfight. They simply cannot have peace, as No Tag are coming in for yet another one. Earlier, they took out 4 Angries. Now they're coming in for Samler's life as well. And in the meanwhile, GG Gaming Gladiators as well coming in for a 3rd party as Bad Boy is taken off the board.
Unfortunate here. Gaming Gladiator being able to find that kind of damage is huge for them to bounce back from that 5th place they found themselves in. But, you know, it's 6 matches, 6 rounds to really set themselves up. And Rolf wanting to maybe find an opening, maybe just locking this in with a shot and timing themselves well. The second he shoots here with this Mosin, he's not going to be able to give up his team's position, and Gaming Gladiators will punish them. So actually holding out the shot there, definitely a smart play, waiting for their team to try to back them up. But you take that fight, you are inviting a big opportunity. But looking at the opportunities here, it is the first airdrop we might see someone try to go for with a P90 in it, and a lot of solid military vest level 3, helmet level 3, and a ghillie suit. The ghillie suit, honestly, if we had Conf still alive, I'd love to see that in his hands. Oh, where are you hitting?
Oh no, Abdu, that is just unfortunate, but Justice comes in for the help. That's the definition of a hot drop. Came in hot, he dropped, and so is he dropped by one of these players, but Justice has no mercy. A finish onto Abdo. Unfortunate for the final player remaining here of Team Myth, but in the meanwhile, might as well go out with absolute heat, as he did find a down and a kill in the meanwhile.
Yeah. And if he gets sad for my life, he wins this outright, but he's got a teammate behind him. No, it's going to be a execution here. An M9TA. Oh my god, wait, he didn't finish off anybody. None of those are going to count as kills. All the damage for nothing. Oh, so unfortunate there. And now Sadness is going to peek it back up, and BFD is able to get Sexy Shouty, and everybody's trying to find some picks.
Oh, trying to scout out the footsies here. Brulent did give a bit of a pedicure to one of these players, as right now AAUS are having a lot better time this time around, as they do take out Mamish James. And AAUS, all 4 players alive. One going to be shortly taken out. That's a down onto 2 red HP. Not the best situation you want to be stuck at, especially when Ronnie has a say about it. And chucking these smokes, they're looking to even extend it out to full team damage. Shots coming out outside the barrier. You're completely stuck, and there's not much of a getaway here. And just Chan earlier, he's been the long survivor. Coming out with the glider will be definitely an interesting way to go out in fashion, but it allows Millie to come here for a save. Boys from downtown, boys from Absolute Up, as they have completely wiped AAUS.
Yeah, all against us. Definitely felt where their name was coming from. Everybody kind of just pincered them there, and now it's time for boys from downtown to reap the benefits, loot up, try to find some better guns, maybe even some better loot. Lots of meds are going to be needed to pick taken out here. If they can grab some painkillers, they are inside of the edge of the ring, so that's going to eat away at a lot of their resources, but they should start moving fast, and not really sure if they're going to be able to get back in time. Remember, BFD didn't find too much value in that last game, but this time they've managed to get just about 3 picks here for their team, 1 for each, and that could allow them to start of a really solid round, as everybody's kind of coming up in different ways in map number 2.
Sosnoka military base, the last area for players to stand. Zone again shrinking, and while the majority of teams do find themselves in it, some will have to manage to actually open up that entry into the zone by fighting off teams such as the Gaming Gladiators and many more. But we can take a look at them. There are only a few that have the full team lineup still alive, while only some remain with one, that being not here.
Ooh. Yeah, military base definitely going to be kind of pincered right along the road if I'm looking at where this ring is going to go. But there's a good chance the ring actually manages to end up in airfield. And that's just a terrible place to die in. I mean, it is a tough angle to hold. And you have 1453. We're going to find a pick if they can, but shots a little bit too much to handle. Samler trying to pincer it out, but what a pick here. That's 1 down from the nades, but uh-oh. More util. And they're trying to now touch it up. And hello, downed people. That's going to be some executions here. Another one for 1453. The util is just so perfect. And they're hunting for the last one, but it's not going to be easy.
Not much luck on it just yet. He's hiding quite nicely. 1453, scouting for nothing. And little do they know, just 1-4 below them, Phi is that hidden treasure they're trying to scout out. But they're going to have to look through this entire building. And I don't think that's going to be an easy task, especially as of current. There's many teams also quite close by that could be closing in. And speaking of other teams, Redline is definitely popping up. Typhon onto Tiny, the first one to be taken out in this initiation. And Redline hasn't been spotted out a lot on the kill feed, but certainly time is now. And with due diligence, they definitely could be giving Typhon a run for their money.
Alrighty, yeah, Typhon will be able to use a first aid kit, keep themselves alive-ish, but Redline has that high ground advantage. They're just past this hill, and they're gonna have to find an opener. But ooh, the shots fired right here. It's again 1453 to manage to take out now BFD. Boys from downtown, they finally got out of the ring and into the fryer, and they are getting absolutely pounded here as Hewin is gone, and that's gonna be Samler actually taking out extends. Samler keeping it solid against Gamer. There's another spray. Storm on request. This is Kadel. This is a player that actually wanted out for the last time, but this time they're still staying alive with 5 HP and getting chased. Ooh, what a nade.
Ooh. One finish onto Psycog. And Storm on request, as you mentioned, on a chase, looking to run away from all of these issues. Zachlinator will be the one to finally put him down. Storm on request, alive for long enough. Finally someone to end that streak, and Grand Dead, the name indicates it, will be dead by Rodney's name. As of current, a lot of downs here for 1453. They are having themselves a nice revival on 2, which does put them back on all 4 players, but they're going to need to move on quickly, as we can see Gaming Gladiators are holding some of these players at bay.
Yeah, pushing them back, scaring these players away. Definitely not going to be easy for this team. to maybe find some more damage, but at the end of the day, they still have all 4, and that's what matters most. You have these skirmishes and you're walking away relatively free. They are eating at those resources that we've talked about, but they're coming out on top. But so far, 10 teams still alive with 27 players still trying to fight this out. Samler is still down 1, but their positioning, I love this spot. It's very tough to get a clean nade into this little barrel farm, and with this, it's going to be a lot easier for them to find a pick. And, ooh, Samler Rayo actually getting sideswiped by Gaming.
Sideswiped indeed. Levante gets it. Samler having an issue. There's a finish onto Rayo. Points going in 14:53. Not only being the ones to give boys from downtown and Samler a very good fight. Now, Samler here, again, they are completely pinched down. No tag being eliminated by 7G. Took them a while. And Ronnie just in the bushes. No one spotted him out yet. This could be a very good way for this final player to rack up some extra points. And as long as he plays his cards correctly, Samler are going to be having a very difficult time.
Ooh, Ronnie through the bushes. And that's going to be an execution on 1. A finishing shot, but unfortunately, Typhon Game get completely eliminated here. And already, look at the teams. We lost 4 teams in 5. Everyone is getting absolutely traded out. The map is open and the rotates are coming through, but boys from downtown is going to join in the doomsday, leaving us now with a clean nade. Finishes off 1 and knocks down the person trying to revive him. And then the second nade inside Sadness clean. And what a shot from Redline, being able to use this AMR to just farm. And they're looking for some more. Redline just wants to keep being that sniper. I mean, they have all 4 of their players up.
Let's start spicing things up, and that's what these teams definitely brought along to the table. Like you said, 4 teams is absolutely huge. A lot of them big names, but Gaming Gladiators, like we said, they've been sneaking around. They've been just looking for opportunities. None have struck yet, but soonly time will come for it. Redline, all 4 players seem like they definitely have an opportunity here to make it till the end game. Although for now, they're looking strong, and they're looking to eliminate 7G out of the competition right in front of them. This is a shot willing to take. Looking for a very nice connection, laying down right below, cover taken. Ivis, he's put his presence quite beknown to 7G here as they're trying to play this game safely.
Yeah, trying to play it up. It's all about Redline, taking it slow, taking a little bit of an opener. But at the end of the day, it does come down to how many picks you get. We don't have Conf Alive to show us how it's done, but with how many people are up, Gaming is actually going to watch this. Uh-oh. Snip. Zeko gone, already out of the count, down on the ground. And there they go. They see able to hit these pot shots, and what a shot, but it just barely whizzes past 1 and not going to be able to connect.
Oh, and Iris now, he's going to be having a taste of it too. Shots are shot back at him. And without Dope, also one of those players that have been, or 2 players that are still kicking right now, just trying to seek out a bit of hideout. 7G, I do believe they share a similar sport here, nicely hiding out, waiting for teams to be belittled and, of course, to just swoop in, get extra kills, maybe find themselves in a better placement. But that's going to be difficult when you're going up against 4, so maybe third party could be an ideal situation. Phase 6 is about to initiate, and some teams certainly haven't found the spot inside just yet. 14:53 going to be starting us off, and that's going to be Armageddon underway. Redline, again, joining in on the party, and that's a team fight between the 2, although those are only 2 players being down. We're soonly about to have many more following.
Yeah, many more now. Let's see if we're going to see some shots, and whoop, not really looking too good. And just barely able to get out of that position. That's a problem with this current spot. A lot of these areas are going to be fought within these pixel perfect peaks, and that's not exactly easy to hit through. But if you're inside Sadness, who is currently the kill leader at 4, we might see M9TA keep up with these picks. But the thing about inside is almost all of his kills have been with util, have been with grenades here. But talk about explosions. They goes 7G's blue.
A way to go out for sure. We've seen some detonations, not only of nades, but also this one here. And shots coming through inside Sadness. Your throwing ability with nades may be the best one we've seen yet, but those shots certainly have not been connecting, and it's difficult. Again, these pixel peaks, these certain birds places that you definitely can't access with your bullets as with ease as if it were an open field, can be quite troublesome. But At times you have to do it, and at times 7G lose out on yet another, as I believe they only have one more standing.
Yeah, one more player left alive. And there's another one down. Sad again. This guy, every time we see him, he's the one to get these picks. A new kill leader definitely deserves it with the way that these teams are now locking it down. But you look on over at 1453, they're taking this slow. 7G down to just one, as you said it. But Rox is able to actually get the counter hit down. And if Sad is gone, the kill leader on the ground, it's not going to be easy for this team to be able to bounce back. But with how many angles can just be constantly crawled behind, it will give more than enough room to go for a pickup here.
Giving Gladiators nicely aligned, going by two duos, as they are starting to receive some shots in the process of it all. And we do see that they're quite close to yet another team that has two players, which, again, these could be initiating some 2v2s here. That could be favoring Without Dope, only if they manage to win the comp. Those ifs and buts definitely can tend to come with chances that definitely aren't the highest here for Without, as, again, kills haven't been the best, only 2 add to that tally, as of though placements what matters most, I'd imagine, as those are the higher. There aren't teams left, less than half to be quite exact, and at some point, they're just going to have to duke it out.
Yeah, and we got the timer ticking away. The second this hits 30, it's going to be pretty bad, but oh my god, there is an airdrop coming right on into the circle. If anybody wants to fight for that, I could understand if they just want to upgrade some of their, armor. I mean, half these players' helmets are gone with how many headshots are being hit right now. So getting to this care package, getting to this airdrop is going to be up to them to find it. I mean, there's a perfect helmet and a Groza in it. Oh, that might be the weapon that people want to use in these middle to range fights, and it's not going to be easy with the amount of people just anchoring it down, but it's about who is the craziest of critters, as Gaming Gladiators still has all 4. You might want to just send off one to try to find that value.
Might as well. It definitely would be worth taking a shot at it. And while talking about shots, that's going to be Dante with an extra couple out of the magazine. Smokes all around. Gonna need to make a move, and Recap closing in on the final one from 7G, trying to finalize this team wipe, evading some. Utility here has been quite dangerous, and they are also closing him in. Recap taking heavy damage, explosions going off, and well, this is going to be a bit of a vault coming through, but it was expected by Afterfight, and he's more than just willing to fight it down. He wipes the entire team Without Dope being taken off, and well, 7 Gaming holding quite strong.
Yeah, 7 Gaming now holding pretty all right, but I mean, with those 2 picks, it's not going to be easy here with how far these guys are going to be able to get it down. And honestly, if you saw a clip like that, make sure to clip it, as we're looking at even more clips to be farmed, because if you manage to find a really solid clip and post it to our subreddit, the person with the most viewed clip, the most upvoted clip as well, will be sent some money, as well as the team that got their clip clipped. Lots of clips, and let's see if we can find some more picks.
Lots of clips. Just got to get the right one here, players. And, well, this was one definitely worthy of it. But there's many more to come, so do keep an eye out. Redline, in the meanwhile, full team still alive. Just as we speak of it, there's a down. Extra long shots from 1453. Zalklinator T1000 gets him. A damage, actually a finish off from Gaming Gladiators here. Dante does take him out in the process. And, well, that's just not going to be looking the greatest, as I do believe Gaming Gladiators are the only team, if not one of the 2, that have full 4 players still alive.
Oh, yeah. They're the only ones here that are going to be bringing the most amount of fight. Right now, it's a team kill leader now with Dante, but we might be able to find some more. The damage is definitely necessary. People are just checking up right and center. 5 teams alive and 12 players. The math is mathing, and that means Gaming Gladiators is pretty much a third of the entire lobby right now. So it's not going to be easy.
I do believe Redline on the right here have possessed also quite a strong composition, and in the meanwhile also a very good position. Early shots, high ground, not going to be able to hide away from Dante's eyes, nor the scope, as it locks on quite nicely. Now it's going to be a team fight before the final 4, and we can look at it. 4 on each, not much longer, down onto Messinic, and Gaming Gladiators for Redline 4, 1 unconfirmed to be dead, and M9TA with only 2, as 1453 has been eliminated.
Yeah. Now, with only this many teams, it's going to really come down to if Redline can get their teams up to keep that advantage here. But as one player's down, and oh, perfect nades. And is it going to find it? No, does not finish off the player, but looks like we are going to be seeing 1453 hitting from their angle as well, downing another player for Redline. Now, with one permanently gone, we just see these shots, and honestly, a lot of passive play here from Ivis, not really taking these shots unless he knows he's going to find a pick, and unfortunately now giving up that spot, not going to really get too much value. The smokes have to get him out of this position here and back onto the airfield as we are running out of time. The final circle is going to be closing soon.
Oh, Redline, what are we to do? We've lost one. We still have 3 to offer up for. Hopefully M98 can help us along the way, but Gaming Gladiators here being the dominant force to take not only over this main building that oversides everything, but also kills in the meanwhile. Sad My Life, been one of those players who you really can look upon of, but matters not as there's shots from above. Levante gonna be the kill leader, and that's another extra for the pile. Gaming Gladiators coming in, shotgun up close, gonna take out M98. Only one more player that isn't officially down from Redline, hiding out in smokes, being completely taken out, as all he can do is fight against it. He does get a down, complimentary kill, not finished out, and while shots are coming through, nades as well, all sorts of pile, absolute dump of utility, and in the meanwhile, bullets too. The finish is there, winner, winner, chicken dinner, and that's going to be Gaming Gladiators coming out on top.
Yeah, coming out on top with a solid play style from them, and that is the kind of gameplay that we kind of expect.